Get your St. Louis MMA fix at knucklejunkies.com.
This video is sponsored by Brad Carey with Realty Executives Premier. If you're looking to buy or sell your home, call Brad Carey.
Hey guys, Kyle Watson here at Watson Martial Arts. Knuckle Junkies asked me if I would break down the upcoming Respect 3 event here in St. Louis. I was fortunate enough to be on the first two events. Fantastic experience, very professional, very well run. Unfortunately, an injury kept me out of being on this third event. However, I've been asked to be part of the commentary crew, so I'm really excited to still be a part of the event, and I'm also really excited about breaking down some of the matchups. Rafael Lovato Jr., he is one of the most decorated, if not the most decorated, American Jiu-Jitsu practitioner. He's won about everything, but one really awesome thing about him too is he always goes for the kill. If you watch any of Rafael's matches, he's finishing most of his opponents. He also has that balance of he's doing MMA fights as well. Coming up in the MMA scene, but yeah, his grappling is phenomenal. I had the luxury and the displeasure of being able to roll with him in Brazil when I was a purple belt, and boy did he kick my butt. But I'm sure he wouldn't remember, but it was really exciting for me to get to see what that type of level of jiu-jitsu is. But he's taking on Steve Patterson, who I don't know Steve real well, but I have definitely seen him on the circuit, and I know he's a referee. He's reffed several of my matches, and I have seen him fight, and he's a gamer. He's done really, really well, competing a lot at the Chicago Open. He's a really tall, lanky guy, so they have a very similar body type to each other. So it'll be interesting, how they kind of match up that way. But it's one of those things where I'm sure going into this matchup, Rafael is definitely the favorite. However, you can't sleep on Steve. He definitely is a gamer, and he's hungry. And when you're the underdog, a lot of times you feel like, oh, I don't have anything to lose, and a lot of times that'll let your game come out and shine. So really looking forward to this main event. Really excited about the four-man lightweight tournament that is on the Respect 3 card. We have some really big names. We have Gianni Gribbo, we have Brian Stubner, we have Gabriel Martins, and then the Fuji tournament winner. It's really, really exciting to see, a four-man tournament in one night, so you kind of see how it, the multiple matches, who can kind of stay in there. It's hard. I remember back in MMA, I fought in a four-man tournament where you had to fight twice in the same night, and I just remember your body goes through this roller coaster. You get up, for that first fight, and the anxiety and the nerves, and then after you're done fighting, you have to kind of come down and then get it all going again for the second round. So it's really cool to see who can kind of persevere and come through that, fighting more than once in one night. I think probably in this one, Gianni, the experience level, he's probably the favorite going into this. He's a world champion, he's a Pan-American champion, but you can't count the other guys out. I honestly don't know a lot about Gabriel Martins. I know he's a Gracie Baja guy, and I'm sure he wouldn't be in this tournament unless he was very talented. I know Brian Stubner very well myself. He runs Springfield BJJ. I've trained with him several times. He recently got his black belt, and under Kyotera no less. So obviously you get your black belt from that guy. You've definitely put in your time, and I know that Brian's recently coming off some really, really good wins. Won gi and no gi at the San Jose Open and had some tough competition, and he's medaled at some other big tournaments as well. So I think he's going to be hungry, and Gabriel, and then whoever the Fuji tournament winner. That's something that's kind of exciting about it too. There's going to be another guy in there, and we don't know who it's going to be. So it's hard for the other three guys to prepare because they don't even know who they're going to be fighting. So that brings a certain level of excitement to the tournament. Really excited to see how it unfolds. Headlining the featured black belt matchups, we have Tyler Bishop versus a last-minute replacement in Josh Mancuso. This is going to be an exciting matchup, I believe, of the kind of new school jiu-jitsu. I know Tyler pretty well. Him and his wife are both black belts under J.W. Wright. Jenna competed on the last Respect event, and Tyler was commentating. So now it's kind of cool to switch the role, and now Tyler will be competing. I've trained with Tyler myself. Very, very tough. Like I said, he's kind of new school. Plays a lot of like the newer type of guards, and very, very talented. He's a very athletic guy. Josh Mancuso, don't know a whole lot about him, but he's under a very respected instructor in Tim Crater from Louisiana. I know Tim pretty well. He's a buddy of mine, and he runs a great school, Gladiators, in Lafayette. And so I'm sure he's producing some tough guys, and Josh Mancuso, and I think Josh is pretty good at leg locks, and I know he competes a lot. In fact, I saw him when I was down competing in the Houston Open. He was competing as well. We were both warming up at the same time, and Tyler competed as well. I don't know if either of them got to scout out the other one, and like I said, only up until recently they knew that they were fighting each other. So I think it'll be an exciting matchup of the new game between those two guys. And then we have Shawn Woods versus Robert DeFranco. And again, Shawn Woods, I know him pretty well. Actually just trained with him on Tuesday, and he's very talented. He's a Gracie Humaida black belt. One thing I can say about Shawn is he definitely pushes the pace. He doesn't get tired, and he just keeps coming. Robert DeFranco is a Machado black belt. Don't know a whole lot about him, but like I said, JW had a very long list of potential candidates, people saying they wanted to be on the Respect card because they saw how well it was run and how professional it was, and so I know that he had a pretty deep talent pool to draw from. So even though I don't know a lot about DeFranco, I don't want to do him a disservice by saying a lot about him and not knowing him, but I guarantee you if JW picked him out of the talent pool, he's got to be pretty tough. So really looking forward to those matchups as well. The next matchup, guys, is Ezra Lenon versus Jared Dopp. The cool thing about this matchup is that they have a little bit of history. They fought each other before, and it's also really cool that they are both ADCC veterans. And for those of you who don't know, the Abu Dhabi tournament is one of the biggest tournaments in the world, the biggest no-gi tournament in the world. So you don't get invited to that unless you are very, very high level. Ezra has been on the first two Respect events. He won both of his matches. And he is a local guy, so it's pretty cool when you get local guys on the card to go support. But Jared is no slouch, black belt under Rafael Lovato, and he's done very, very well himself. He's got some very notable wins: a Pan American champion, a no-gi world champion, and so it's going to be a really, really awesome matchup. I know that my student Josh McKinney has been training with Ezra, and talks about how dynamic he is as a practitioner. But I think with these guys fighting each other before, they're going to come out and have something to prove, and it'll be interesting to see if they changed up their styles from their first matchup. And we actually have another Lenon on the card, as Ezra's brother Zach Lenon is taking on Mark Vives, and I know a lot about this matchup. Actually, I've competed against both guys multiple times, and I can tell you from experience they're both very tough. So I'm excited to see this matchup. Mark has been on the circuit for a really long time. He and I have fought each other from blue belt through brown belt, so we know each other. And what's really kind of neat is now, my student Josh McKinney has had a lot of battles with one of Mark's top guys, Osher. So we fought each other. Now we coach against each other. But he's a good guy and an even better competitor. Zach, comes from the same pedigree as Ezra. Very, very tough, very dynamic guard, very aggressive, likes to go for the submission. So definitely looking forward to see how these two pair up. Another cool matchup that I have a little bit of inside perspective on is Jared Weiner against Jason Bircher. Actually, in 2011, I think it was my first black belt tournament, all three of us were in the same bracket. So I fought Jared and Jason in the same division. And again, they're both tough guys. Jared, I've known for a while. We're buddies. We've taught seminars together. He is Lloyd Irvin's first black belt, so he's been around for a long time. Third degree black belt. He's seen it all, done it all. And Jason is a gamer as well and has been competing forever. So that's going to be a really interesting matchup. We also have on the card Nick Sanders is a late replacement against Alan Shabaro. Alan Shabaro, I met him teaching a seminar down in Dallas, and he's probably one of the strongest human beings I've ever met. But, and he's a very talented jiu-jitsu practitioner. But, Nick Sanders is no slouch. He's had some big wins. He's won on the other Respect against a very high-level competitor in Sean Hammonds, and really respect Nick a lot. He's also strong in his own right, and that's going to be a super awesome battle to watch. Another local guy, Rich Grafe. He's been competing a lot, doing very well at some big tournaments like the Pans and the Master Worlds and what have you. And he's taking on Stephen Roberto that runs Purebred Academy in Guam. I believe that Roberto is a black belt under Ensign Inoue, for those of you that were big Pride fans back in the day. And so he's no joke there. So that's going to be an awesome one as well. Guys, thanks for tuning in and allowing me to share a little bit of my insight on some of the matchups. I'm really excited to see the show, and I hope you guys are too. It doesn't get any better than this for such a stacked lineup, and it's happening right in your own backyard at the Chase Park Plaza. There are still tickets available, so you guys don't miss out on this. You can look up Respect on Facebook to find out more information about tickets. You can go to cagetix.com to get tickets, but they're still available. Otherwise, you can get the live stream on flowgrappling.com, and I really look forward to seeing you guys there.